Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia and here on High Value you're going to find all the topics related to consciousness, inner healing, self-love and manifestation and mental health. So make sure to subscribe if this is something that you would like to hear more about and learn more about. Today I'm going to talk about the main difference between self-love and narcissism. I have created a video on how to become super attractive through self-love. I'm gonna link it up here. And in this video, I'm talking about self-love, of course, but I wanted to hop on here real quick and discuss about the difference between narcissistic traits and narcissistic behavior and energy and true self-love. And I think it's quite intuitive. You might already know that deep down, but I think it's really good to speak about the difference so we can actually make sure that when we are interacting in our lives and when we are living our daily lives, that we're really coming from this place of self-love, because that's what's going to attract healthy relationships and healthy interactions to you. Versus engaging in more narcissistic traits, might still give you some results, but it's just not the healthy results that you actually want to create healthy and beautiful relationships that are good for everybody involved. So let's get started by first understanding what true self-love looks like. So true self-love is an energy of abundance and love. That's the simplest explanation. Is when you're in an energy of abundance and of love, that's when you are that's when you're gonna create self-loving behaviors. Now, what does that actually mean? It means that your behavior is motivated to be focused on yourself, and you're taking action because you want to increase your own happiness. You want to love yourself from a place of abundance, meaning that you're not looking to show off. You're not looking to impress anyone. You're not loving yourself because it's gonna get you a certain result. You're not doing it for an external validation. You're simply loving yourself because you know that you are deserving of love, and because you want to love yourself, because you want to feel this worthiness inside your heart. You want to give yourself value. You want to care for yourself. You are making yourself important. You're seeing your own value. So it's all about the relationship with you and you, the relationship with yourself. It's a very peaceful and calm energy. It's a very sustainable energy. The best way I can really stress it in comparison to narcissism is you're calm, peaceful, loving, and you're not looking to show off. You're not looking for external validation. Now, let's look at what narcissistic traits or narcissism looks like in the difference or in comparison to self-love. And we all have narcissistic traits. Like it's a potential within every human being. Some people have a very evolved narcissistic part. Some people do less of that. But this behavior comes from fear and from inner pain. And sometimes it might be confusing if you see a person and they are giving themselves a lot of attention. You might be confused and maybe think that this is self-love. But when you are engaging in narcissistic traits, or when somebody's doing that, basically what it's coming from fear and from self-protection, and it's a very complex way for this person to protect themselves by showing off, by trying to make themselves more important than they actually feel, trying to hide their pain. So when you are engaging in narcissistic behavior, you're gonna feel that it's actually not gonna feel that great. You're gonna feel like an urge to act a certain way. You're gonna feel like it's coming from lack. It's coming from a place of seeking and chasing validation and cutting yourself off from love. Narcissistic narcissistic behavior really makes you feel like you're cutting yourself off from love, or you are already cut off from love. You are already separate, and that's why you're trying, desperately trying to give yourself more value, to receive attention, to receive external validation in order to ease the pain. So self-love is something that is coming really from this place of calmness and abundance and completion and wholeness and nourishment. And narcissism is a much more, narcissistic energy is much more desperate, fearful, insecure, at the core, insecure, and it's just coming from this place of lack. And when you are in that state, you might not know that you are engaging in narcissistic behavior, but it's just showing up because you haven't learned a better way of dealing with yourself, and you think that you need external validation, but you don't really know how to engage with the external world, with the people in your life, in order to actually receive that healthy love. So you're craving that from a place of thinking that there's not enough, you're not gonna get it. It's coming from this inner wound that is coming from childhood, and that's really how you can distinguish the difference between self-love and narcissistic or narcissism. It's one is really nourishment, inner abundance. There's more than enough within you. Narcissism is like there's not enough. I'm in pain and I can't even really acknowledge my own pain, so that's why I'm seeking external validation to feel love within myself, because I feel like there's not enough love within me and I'm not actually really lovable, so I put on this mask. Alright, so this was my real quick overview on the difference between narcissism and self-love. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about this. I love to come to this topic from a very intuitive place. I think that it's quite obvious. You're gonna feel when you're practicing self-love and when you're caring for yourself in that really abundant place. And you're gonna feel when you're coming from this place of desperation and lack and unworthiness. I'm just feeling into myself to see whether there's something else that I would like to say about this topic at this point. So I think what's also really important is what can you do when you're experiencing yourself engaging in narcissistic behavior. It's very important not to shame yourself. You want to develop healthy ways of relating to others and to yourself. And if you can create awareness around the times when you're engaging in more narcissistic behavior or energy, then you can be so proud for creating that awareness, because that's going to help you not to act it out on anyone else. I think that's really, really important. And the moment you start to create that awareness, you are already moving into disidentifying from that behavior, and you're increasing your ability to really love yourself. I am going to link a few videos that are going to be helpful for you in order to ease the pain of the inner wound that comes when you're engaging in narcissistic energy or traits. And the first video that I'm gonna recommend you is the Reparent Your Inner Child video. That is going to help you to really be unconditionally present with yourself and heal that inner wound that was created in your childhood. Also, you can watch the video on the 5 tips for emotional healing. I'm gonna link it up here. And really make sure to be kind to yourself and to start to become aware of this inner wound that might be motivating narcissistic behavior in yourself. Start to become aware of it and start to engage in healing ways of relating to yourself by simply being present, taking care of your inner child and healing yourself with the videos that I have just mentioned. Alright, if you have any questions, make sure to comment below, and if you're looking for one-on-one support on your journey in order to increase your self-love and really come into that heart-centered energy where you are feeling fully abundant and fully approving of yourself and just complete within yourself, then make sure to check out the link in the box below where I have linked my services. Thank you so much and have a beautiful rest of your day.